I'm Kevin. Uh, what I like to talk about today is society. You know what it's coming to. Today you got guys walking into school and shooting about a bunch of kids. You got kids carrying guns to school and shooting other kids. And now you got cops roaming around in the hallways these days too. Back when I was going to school, we had security guards, but they weren't cops. The cops have been called out there to your school, but it went over to somebody shooting them up. We didn't have to worry about that. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on anymore. And a lot of people have been getting away. And people see it happening, but don't do nothing about it. We just close our eyes to it. And then as the kids get older and they see it, they adapt to it. And as long as we don't see it and we close our eyes to it, they're going to keep doing it. Back then, people used to go to church. And kids don't go to church no more. I wonder why that is. And people also say things to push your buttons. Get you riled up. Makes you mad. And then when you get mad and you snap at them, oh, you ain't got to get mad. It's just a joke. Can't you take a joke? Yeah, I can take a joke, can't you? You know, but they keep pushing you until you snap on them. You know, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? Hey, would you do, And it's things that they know that'll get you mad. And they keep doing it. And that's the way things are. Nobody don't care anymore. Back then, people used to care for one another. Now there's no care. Not one bit. And then you got the Congress and the Senate fighting against President Bush. Divided. And since they was divided, we fell. We failed to make a decision on these financial cliff. And now the poor man, I'm not working, but I know people who are. That's struggling like it is, and now they gotta pay more taxes. Not already worrying about struggling on their food, car insurance, gas. Electric bill's gonna go up, gas bill's going up, and gasoline is always changing. And the only thing they can keep hollering is United States is in debt. United States is in debt. Our economy is falling. There's no way out of it. Yes, there is. Hurricane Sandy, nobody done anything on that yet. And that's been how long? Because they can't make an agreement on this financial cliff that they were doing. And now the poor people got attacked by it. Gotta pay more taxes. This bracket pays this much. This bracket pays this much. But what about the rich? Are they still paying out the same amount? Or are they paying out more too? Are they paying out just as much as the poor man? Just because they got more money don't mean that they get less taxes. United. Everybody is supposed to be equal. Equal rights. But that's something that's being taken away. But yet when Colorado and Washington wants to legalize marijuana, you guys was quick to jump into it. The federal government was quick to jump into it and say, hey, it's not going to happen. What they need to do is step back and say, hey, we could do this like cigarettes and alcohol. You had to have a permit to grow it and to sell it. And if the government's growing it and selling it, there's money that comes from it in 3 different ways, possibly more. You can sit there and sell the bud at the liquor store. 7, 8, 9% tax. Then you can sit there and have stems and things left over. You take the stems and you make hemp rope. You can also take leftovers and make paper like they used to. That was cheaper than the paper that they make today. One guy went and made a complaint and made marijuana, hemp paper, illegal. But our Constitution was written on hemp paper. Now, the reason why hemp paper became, hemp became illegal was because that paper company, and he said that it was cheaper to make that, and it was running them out of business. And then they came up and said that the #1 drug used to be marijuana. That's a gateway. It's listed higher than heroin and cocaine. Because it's a gateway drug, it gets you started on the other stuff, is what they say. But yet, it's alright to go to a bar and drink alcohol and get plastered, drive, have an accident, get hit with murder. That's alright. Smoke a joint, calm your nerves, helps you sleep, makes you relax. Go drive in a car, you're just fine. But they can't do nothing on that. Now, I just listed 3 different ways that the government itself, the federal government, can make money. The way the state can make money is off the sell taxes. They get the sell taxes, the government gets the money from selling it. The paper, the buds, and the rope. Plus, they get getting paid for the people that has to have the permit to grow it and to sell it to the consumers. The consumers got to have a permit to sell it to the people. So their governments get making money all the way around. Okay. And that will actually help out on jobs. Jobs making a rope, job making a paper. Jobs people poking the buds off the seeds and packaging them up. Drug cartels come from Mexico and they hit a semi. And they're saying, oh, that's $100,000 of marijuana just taken off the street. Well, if the government was growing it and legalized it and sold it in the country, like they do alcohol and things, then that $100,000 could came back to them instead of what getting through, going back to the drug cartels. By the government saying, hey, we don't want to make this illegal, or we don't want to make it legal. That kind of makes me wonder if our federal government has any connection to the drug cartels. They're not wanting to make it legal to cut money from them. Instead of helping out the United States. That's like our oil wells. There's oil in Texas. There's oil on the west. There's oil in Canada. There's oil in Mexico. We pumped it out and sold it. All that money that we sell in the United States will come back to the United States, opening more jobs for the oil well company industry. Mexico, can open up them oil wells and make money and make it on their industry. You know, there's a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of things that can be done. But if the federal government's not willing to make the changes, then how are we going to get help? You know, I mean, if you got a cart on a horse and it's being pulled, or you got a buggy and it's being pulled by two horses, if one horse goes that way and the other horse goes that way, they're pulling in two different directions, which means the buggy ain't gonna go nowhere. Okay, now if you get the two horses pulling in the same direction, the buggy's gonna go down the street. Okay, now we can't have our government turn around taking this buggy, one horse going this way, one horse going that way. No, they gotta go together to make anything work out. And if you have to make changes, then you have to make changes. You know, let's look at the toy industry. You know, you go to a toy today and you look at it, and it says made in China. Made in China. 90% of the toys you look at today says made in China. But yet when I was a kid, it didn't say made in China. It's made in the United States. Our toy industry has fallen. When we open up the toy industry and start making toys, there's a bunch of kids in the United States. But the federal government don't want to look at that. They're just stuck on one thing. And that's not spending their money. Let the poor men spend and let the poor men make less and spend more than what they make. But what good is that? You know, this is a messed up world that we're living in. And it's only getting worse. What about the older people's grandkids? What about my kids when they get older? What about their kids when they have kids? You know, I mean, it's only going to get worse. And the only thing people can do is stand by and just let it happen. We can get effed and no pleasure out of it. Just stand back and let it happen. I think the federal government needs to get their hair out of their fucking asses and do something. They can break us out of our restriction that we are in, but they're not wanting to make no bend. Legalize it throughout the 50 states and forever. The federal government be getting money out of all 50 states.